Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM22, career mode episode 89, and we are in the Giro, our second episode here. We're already on stage number 9 as we took our chances, took a step back, and allowed the AI to do its thing on a bunch of punchy stages. But now we're starting to get into a more serious portion of this race. Now, over the past few years, Ayuso and Enric Mas have dominated, absolutely dominated this race, and it is Enric Mas who leads here after 8 stages with a couple of stage wins on punchy stages. He looks like he came in already on a fitness peak, so if we're lucky, he's going to fade in the final stages, and he's not much of a time trialist. That's going to give us a little bit of an opportunity, except for the fact that our guys who would compete with him aren't really time trialists themselves. So they're going to have to beat him in the mountains if we're going to actually beat him proper. For this, our first mountain stage, it's not much more than the stage 6 that we played at the end of the last episode, which was considered punchy. The difference where that was 6K, this one's 7K, and 7.4% average. I think it's actually 1% less than the gradient that we experienced on that last climb. But unlike that one, this one you've got another climb that precedes it, immediately. You're looking at going up, flattens out a little bit, and then you go up again steeply, and the descent is rather short before you then go into that final climb. It does flatten out right at the top. Okay, so with all of that in mind, as we approach the top here, we're going to want to send Chergai back to get water one final time. We get everybody over the top, so that's good. We'll have full team for this one. Also at 56K, water will be done for the remainder of the stage. But we're going to have a big, hefty task here. Let's see how many of these guys we can get fully recovered. The leaders, anyway, Gonzalez is looking really good. Krantz is good. Martinez is good. And they'll recover some in the descent that we're about to hit here in a moment. We'll go over the top, and then it's going to drop that heart rate right down. Now, Chergai is not going to recover fully. Arietta and Garzone, Zumi, we'll see how much recovery, the domestiques of the day get. Now, Arietta led for like one stage, but we have not won any stages as of yet. Arietta was just consistent as a puncher, near the front, just would lose a couple seconds each stage, but ultimately whoever was gaining those seconds, they themselves weren't consistent enough. And there you go, kind of checking back in. Those domestiques not quite fully recovered, but they're in good shape outside of Chergai. He's the only one with a negative race day condition, and even though we have, I don't know, what is that, plus 18, plus 19, something like that, we're right around what is the expected race day condition for the day, because we have timed things well enough that a lot of these guys are hitting fitness peaks at the right time. And then, the funny thing, if you saw the beginning of last episode, Martinez and Krantz weren't supposed to be in this race. They both had the Il Lombardia objective, and both of them were horribly set to hit their fitness peaks way too early compared to when Il Lombardia would be, as the breakaway has been caught, and we're just barely beginning that penultimate climb here. For now, we are trying to, as best we can, not see them drop back. If we can, we'll keep them at a 75, but we can't afford to drift back, as we're seeing an acceleration here from Storer. That is going to require a response from someone, hopefully not us, but let's start with that for our response. Yep, there is an immediate response as Buitrago, Sheffield, Lopez, Carapaz, like all answering. And then there's Movie Star trying to respond to it. Alright, with that, let's speed up a little bit more. Again, I am trying to conserve here. Chergai is not going to last much longer, though. And that's all negated. Things are about to ease off. So that first portion of the difficult climb, as we do see one getaway, Gallioni, Foss, Koos. But Movie Star's got it under control. Using up their team, and Chergai hasn't even actually started to fade yet. We will want to go sprint train. Okay, who is he protecting? Krantz. We want to make sure Krantz is protected. So Azumi, go ahead and take over. Actually, did I want Garzone instead? Today you do want. Let's get Azumi up right behind Krantz though. Why am I right behind Krantz? We want to be right behind Martinez. Remember, we're trying to ride for Martinez. Alright, who's back the furthest? Trigai protecting Gonzalez. Gonzalez needs to work harder to get up there. Back up in position so that they can be part of the train. Hey, here comes the next acceleration. Zimmerman. Missiger trying to go clear, not doing a very good job of it. Foss, who just attacked, somehow attacking again, but it didn't last long. Godu. Buitrago. Alright, so we get over the top of this one with stamina largely intact for most of these guys. And let's make sure we're not too far back. Yeah, that's just Trigai. Trigai, go ahead and go auto. And you're seeing this the group split just a little bit. But like I said, this is not a lengthy descent here. But we're already now down to just 10K. Now, before we flatten out and go up, let's get our train formed at this stage. So Martinez is going to follow Krantz, who's going to follow Gonzalez. And then I think Azumi was looking just too dang good today. What about Huggins? No. So Huggins and Arrieta. Arrieta is just a little bit more tired. +1. He's going to go 99 at first just to get forward and start getting the team coming with him. Now we back off. Okay, Huggins gel. We do have that one rider out front. Zimmerman, I think it is. Yes. But we are quickly closing him down, and we're now at the base of the climb at 8K to go. Garzone gel. That Arrieta is done. Garzone is actually looking a little bit weaker than Huggins at this stage. We're gonna have to drop him back. Arrieta's 14th place is going to be gone, but he's not the guy we're... Azumi just lost Huggins. But that's going to force others to chase him. We were still catching Zimmerman. We're down to 17 in the Peloton. Huggins just decimated. And now Azumi is done. Let's go auto, and auto for those 3. And surprisingly, we're down to 3 riders already, still with 5K to go. So that hard push took its toll. But now this is your leaders on the attack. Rubio, Vieira, Buitrago aren't the strongest. 3.7. So gelling up for Krantz. There's Moss. Gelling up for Martinez. And now it's 6 chasing 3. Now it's 2K, so Gonzalez is going to start going a little bit harder. Yellow bar's gone, he catches those guys. And then continues to push on. Or sorry, red bar's gone. Yellow still there. 1.7, Krantz. Krantz, get it out there. Get it going. 1K to go. Krantz is going to sprint. Remember, it eases off at the top. And this is going to be a 1-2 finish. Martinez is going to win the stage. Krantz is going to finish 2nd. Moss is 3rd. There, Rubio, Godu. Gonzalez is going to finish right up there in 8th place as well. Nice. Nice. Oh, that's a good one. We're already at 2:15. Big time gaps Spreading the field out. I like it. I like it. But next up, we're going to lose some time. Time trial coming next. First mountain stage, and we are already pulling gaps on all of the other climbers with Martinez and Krantz going 1-2. Krantz getting the gift of same time, even though he was a little ways behind Martinez there at the finish line. Plus, they're going to get the time bonus, the 10-6 for first and second. Moss, 18 seconds down, though he does gain 4 seconds. Vier, Rubio, same time. Gaudu, 32 seconds down. Vendinabil, Gonzalez at 45. Buitrago, Lopez, Foss. A lot of the climbers, a lot of the pure mountain guys didn't get great times here, as it was just about punchy enough that you really needed that combination. And with the lead out, with the train, we built that combination in for these guys, plus the race day condition, and they are just about punchy enough that worked out. That worked out really well. So Moss still leads, which is good. Which is probably good. We don't necessarily want to be in the race lead when we come out of this time trial, so it's not a bad thing. But here we are in second and fourth and seventh for Gonzalez, and pretty solid time gaps to a lot of guys. So Moss 74, 72. Martinez is similar as a time trialist, so they should put in a similar time. VR, not a good time trialist, so hopefully we'll lose time. Krantz is pretty decent, and he will move up a little bit compared to those two guys. Rubio's not good. Gaudu's not good. Gonzalez, yeah, fine, whatever. Buitrago, same. Vendinabil, none of these guys are good time trialists. Lopez, Gall, Carapaz, Sosa, Foss, the first decent one, and he's 3.5 minutes down. So none of those top contenders are strong time trialists, which means we don't stand to be losing a bunch of time, and the standings shouldn't change much. Hopefully Krantz moves up into third. Trying to find the happy zone on this time trial is tricky. It's 34 kilometers, and you start with the climb. The climb, 7.5K, 5%. It's not that hard of a climb, but doing it individually at pace takes a lot out of you. And then what does that leave you for the rest of it? Because even though there's a fair bit of descending on the rest of it, it's definitely not an end-all, be-all of what there is to do. You still have a fair bit of work to do, following the top of the climb. You get through this little sector here where you go slightly up again, or at least flat through there, but you've got to have enough to keep pushing. I mean, they're pedaling the entire way down the descent, so you're still using energy at, a faster rate than you would normally. Trying to find the happy zone that is a really good time here is tricky, and definitely having enough for the last kilometer or so is, you can see, tough. Hagens, a 79, just gets you there, just balances it out, but that's putting us 2 minutes behind. It seems like the climb is maybe more important than the descent, so I've been pushing harder on the climb of late, but still trying to find, what is that happy zone to get through it. So with Gonzalez, we're going to try to go harder with the climb as he's getting started, and Arrieta's still 2K away. He just doesn't have much energy today. We're going to try to come into this on the flat a little bit easier, but then ramp it up to about an 80 for the climb. Arrieta, 3:44 down, really bad time. Part of that was race day condition wise. Krantz is ready to set off, so we're going to set off in kind of the mid 70 sort of range to get up to speed. Maybe a 76. Yeah, that's good. +5, yes, okay. Make that a 77 to start. Gonzalez, so yeah, pushing at an 80. Martinez, ready to set off. This could be Krantz stealing the show from Martinez, but he's got good race day condition as well. Excellent. All right, 77 to set off there. Both of them on +5s. Gonzalez on a +4. Bissiger is leading. Cavagna is third. Times fall off pretty quick. I mean, we're looking at, just inside a minute. We'll get you within the top 10. And in half, we'll nearly get in the top 20. Gonzalez, let's push a little bit harder here. Okay, we should already be climbing. Shoot. 81 from here, 81 from here. It's hard to manage these guys so close together. All right, Gonzalez gets over the top. Okay, first time check, Gonzalez was a minute 25 down. Minute 25. He was pushing pretty hard through all of that too. It's nearly to the top. Over the top, I think you need good tempo. Minute 3 down is all for him. Here's where you actually get a little bit of a tuck. In fact, he's getting a lot of tuck. See that good descending? He still hasn't pedaled yet. Martinez approaching the top. Speeding up over the top. And it's 6 down for him, 48th. And he too is going to tuck. Still tucked. Gonzalez pedals on. You can see that deficit that he's got now. Through the flat sector for Krantz. It's the last place you kind of need to push. After that, you can start to back off a little bit. Martinez going through there right now. Gonzalez, final sector. He's 45th, only lost 10 seconds in that second sector. And you can see how he's still getting better and better as we approach the end, and it looks like he's got what he needs to kind of get there. So back up to a 79. Krantz pretty close to already having what he needs also, and he's gaining time, 23rd, 58 seconds down. Martinez, keep on. Oh, he is a little bit weaker here. Drop to an 80. Gonzalez, 3K to go. That's go do. There's Gonzalez. 1K to go. Attack for the finish line. 36th, minute 55 down. That was definitely better than the teammates. Krantz is looking even better, but 4K and definitely running low on energy. Back up to a 78. Martinez back up to a 77. He's got 7K to go. And we need to back him off even more. Krantz, 1.7K, and he is into that red bar, pushing for the line. 700 meters. Oh, he's going to tuck right at the end. There you go. Okay, minute 8, 18th. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. 3K though, and Martinez is already starting to get into that last little leg of energy. He was a minute 5 down at the second time check. Coming up on 1K now. You get that little descent here, little tuck, and then finish to the line. Minute 24 down. Pretty good. Pretty good. There comes Moss. Moss goes 5th quickest. He clearly had a +5 as well. He managed to put in an even better time than what we managed. Wow. So the new standings are like this. Moss puts in a godly effort considering that he is a 74 time trialist. Is all. Clearly he had a +5. I mean, no doubt about that one. There's no way he put in that kind of time with that time trial rating, because we put in a really good time considering how bad we are in the time trial, and we had +5s for both of these guys. Martinez and Krantz are 2nd and 3rd still. Actually, no. Now 2nd and 3rd. Ver is a minute down on Krantz when Krantz was a ways behind him. Good 40 seconds, 30 seconds behind him. Now he's a minute ahead of him. Godu sits 5th, just a few seconds behind Ver. Rubio, Foss, Gonzalez still in the top 10 in 8th place. So we're on stage 11, so we're already past the halfway point, or passing the halfway point of this year's race. For now, we are taking it easy, trying to maintain position without effort, or as little effort as possible, and so that we are set up for the final climb on this one. The final climb on this one is enough so that it's actually still considered a punchy stage. Doesn't look much like it. I mean, it looks much closer to a mountain stage, as we're looking at a 9.5 kilometer, 8% climb. That's a lot harder than the last two, and that's definitely harder than the mountain stage that we just recently had. I think the main thing that separates the two of them is the fact that you have this lengthy descent beforehand and not a lot of climbing along the way till that point. But that does not mean that the climb we just went over was not, it doesn't mean it was hard or easy, because you can see how much of a toll it took out of the guys. But protecting our leaders has left them in good shape. Hagen's not quite recovered. Our zone is not quite recovered, and we do want to get water one last time here. With 18k to go, I think we're a little short where we need to be, so Garzone will take care of that. So we're good to go for the end. Wow, Garzone not interested in chasing. We're already seeing an attack.
Ciccone goes onto the attack.
7k to go already, and we're not in a great position here. I let things get away a little bit. I think we need to respond now. It's 6.7. Okay, so 6.7k to go. We've got to start getting this thing forward, and hopefully these guys aren't too far back. Most of the team is in the same area, so that's good. Garzone trying to make his way through the field. I do not like how far back we are. He's already out of red bar, but he's got the yellow bar still pulling until Huggins kind of gets up to him. And as long as he's going forward, we're okay. It's all back together. They sit up a little bit, which gives us a little more room to breathe. Garzone. Is there an attack? I'm not seeing it. Alright. 3.5. Gels for these guys, and we're definitely going to push on now with Huggins. Garzone did good to pull us through, and still has energy. So Huggins trying to get us out front now. 3k to go. Gels for those guys. Gels for the last two. Krantz and Martinez. Oh, I do not like how far back they are. Okay, on to Arietta. Huggins, get out of the way. It's already down to 2k, and we're still waiting on those leaders to come through. 1.3. We're definitely not looking at winning this stage. Finally, Krantz gets up into position. Gonzalez, 700 meters. No time gaps. No worries about any of that. Just sprint all. Martinez still has some pace left in him. But it's not going to be enough to crack the top three. But again, there's 0 time gaps around here. Buitrago takes the stage. Rubio, Gall. At least Moss doesn't gain additional time. He's the main one we've got to worry about. And it's just a group of 23. Then you have a big time gap back there. So there are riders that are going to lose ground. I don't know if any of them are in the top 3 or top 10 though. A minute gap after Bonneau in 23rd. So for us, no changes. Martinez, Krantz still in the same position. Gonzalez is 9th with Buitrago picking up some seconds, I think. Yeah, 10 seconds for him. So he actually bumps Gonzalez. Not a big deal on that part, but hey, we're already looking at 6-7 minutes down for guys just outside of the top 10. We're looking at nearly 5 minutes down for the guys at the edge of the top 10. And so realistically, we're looking at 9 guys left in contention. inside 3.5 minutes. And we've got 3 of those. Downside, of course, is Enric Mas does already leave. But the good news is it puts it all on his team to lead things out, get exhausted over the next few stages, and hopefully set us up for a big push at the end. And with a 2-3 punch, it's going to make it pretty easy at one of these points to, like say, attack with Krantz and put Moss under pressure to then set up that 1-2 punch for Lenny Martinez to then follow Moss. And then as soon as Moss has expended a bunch of energy to catch Krantz, you attack with Martinez and go clear. Hopefully. That's the idea. At some point, we will employ that. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.